Hare Krishna, welcome back to Thinking of Krishna. My name is Devesani Radhika Dasi, and today we will continue reading from Sri Caitanya Mangala, Chapter 2, Childhood Pastimes of Nimai. As the son of Sachi grew up, his body looked like a stream of nectar. I can't find anything to compare his body to, yet my heart moves me to try. Even blind men ran madly to see the ever-expanding beauty of Nimai's moon-like face. The gentle half-smile on his lips seemed like a dancing wave in the ocean of nectar. Drowning in rasa, his reddish eyes flooded with joy. The beautiful black kajal surrounding his eyes appeared like a dam holding back the ecstatic ocean of prema rushing from his lotus eyes. The pious and fortunate Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra simply looked affectionately at the beautiful face of their son. At one moment, Nimai cries. The next moment, he laughs. Occasionally, he sits on Sachi's lap and nestles in her bosom, or rests his feet on her breasts. Sometimes, Sachi holds Nimai upside down by his ankles and swings him. At such times, he looks like a golden creeper blowing in the wind. Sometimes, Nimai opens his eyes very widely and laughs slightly, producing a flow of the sweetest nectar. His nose, which is shaped like the beak of a parrot, fascinates everyone. A healthy, brilliant glow radiates from his smooth, attractively shaped cheeks. After 6 months had passed, Jagannath Mishra performed the Namakarana, name-giving ceremony for his son Nimai. He decorated his son with golden bangles, anklets, waist bells, and a pearl necklace. His foot soles were smeared with fresh vermilion. His crimson lips looked like a bandhuli flower, and his eyes resembled a blooming red lotus. All the parts of Gaura's transcendental body shone more brightly than lightning. His bodily effulgence was so intense that you couldn't look at him. The Lord was given the name Vishwambhar, which means one who maintains the worlds. Sometimes baby Nimai held his parents' fingers and tried to walk, but he would fall down after taking a few steps. Although only broken words came out when he tried to speak, they were overflowing waves of nectar to everyone's ears. In this way, day after day, Nimai played in the courtyard of Sachi Mata. His simple playing removed all miseries and pacified the world. The feet which were previously worshipped by Lakshmi Devi are now embraced by Prithvi, Mother Earth, who has become The feet which were previously worshipped by Lakshmi Devi are now embraced by Prithvi, Mother Earth, who has become overcome with ecstatic love. There is only one moon in the sky, but now it appears there are 10 moons on the ground in the form of the cooling rays emanating from Gauranga's shimmering toenails. Blind and sinful men become fortunate by seeing these rays. The king of Gaura's moon-like face reigns supreme over millions of moons. With his eyebrows curving like the bow of Cupid, he satisfies all desires. How can I express the limit of the soothing moon-like rays of his compassion, which dispel the misery and darkness from the hearts of everyone? Who can describe his wonderful childhood pastimes that purify the whole world? Vishwarup, the older brother of Vishwambhar, was a precocious student, and he quickly learned all the Vedas. Who can explain the greatness of Nimai's brother? Vishwambhar's compassion increased as the days passed. Lochandas feels joy in his heart to hear these topics. One night, Sachimata said, O moon up in the sky, why don't you come down to earth? We'll wipe off your black spots and place you as an ornament on Gauranga's forehead. Come on, my darling Nimai, my beautiful golden boy. Stop your crying and go to sleep. But actually, your crying pleases me more than nectar. Look, your father has brought bananas and condensed milk for you. Oh, my dear naughty boy, close your eyes and go to sleep. Your face looks like a golden lotus, and your eyes resemble a red lotus flower. Now your half-closed eyes look like bees half submerged in the ocean of honey contained in your sweet lotus face. Sachi Devi made a bed of jute, covered it with a soft cotton bedspread, embraced Nimai on her lap, and then laid her precious jewel down to sleep. Nimai began to suckle one of Sachimata's breasts, while caressing the other one with his little fingers. Lochandas says, although Gauranga is the crest jewel of all lords, He behaves just like an ordinary boy. The demigods visit Nimai. Listen carefully to another day's pastimes wherein the Lord revealed his identity. While Jagannath Mishra slept in one room, Sachi peacefully relaxed with her son in the other. Suddenly, many foot soldiers entered Sachi's bedroom, frightening her. Then the demigods arrived, took Nimai from Sachi's lap and placed him on a jeweled throne. After bathing and worshipping Nimai, they circumambulated him and offered obeisances. The sound of gongs, conch shells, and the singing of the holy names filled the room. The demigods all chanted, "All glories to Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe! All glories to the Supreme Maintainer! In Kali Yuga this boy will maintain us. O Vishrambar, we fall at your lotus feet and beg you, please bestow upon us the rare treasure of Raja Rasa." Sachimata was shocked and terrified by this scene. She was not afraid for herself, she only cared for the safety of her son, who was her everything. Sachi Devi picked up Nimai and told him to go to his father's room in order to sleep peacefully. As her son left the room, Sachimata heard ankle bells tinkling on Nimai's feet. She thought this was strange since he didn't have any ankle bells. The demigods walked behind Nimai with folded hands when he left Sachimata. The Lord addressed them, "O demigods, don't hanker after me. Just spend your time singing about the glorious love-filled pastimes of Radha Gopinath." Then Nimai cried and chanted, "Radha, Radha, Govinda, Kalindi, Yamuna, Vrindavan." Hearing this, the demigods also began wailing and singing along joyfully. Sachimata fainted upon observing the wonderful activities of her son. Hearing her collapsing on the floor, Jagannath Mishra ran to the spot to revive her. Sachi cried out, "O Vishrambar, O Nimai!" Together they left the room and went to lovingly embrace their son. Jagannath Mishra remembered the transcendental pastimes of Krishna when he saw the bare feet of Nimai. Sachi Devi explained to her husband what she had just seen in her bedroom. "Prabhu, there were demigods having 4 hands and some with 5 heads. They came in celestial airplanes to worship our son. When Nimai saw them, he danced in the courtyard and chanted, 'Radha Krishna.' I thought I was dreaming. Being frightened, I sent him to you for safety. Although our son has a well-shaped, beautiful, divine form, I fear what might befall him in the future. After losing 7 daughters, I finally received a son. I'll die if anything happens to him. As I don't have many children, Nimai is the star of my eye, just as a walking stick is the greatest treasure of a blind man. Nimai is as dear to me as the soul is to the body. I can't live without him. Please arrange some ritual in order to petition the demigods for his protection." Nimai's naughty pranks and pastimes. The next day, Nimai got covered with dust while rolling on the ground playing with his friends. Seeing him smeared with dust, Sachi Devi said, "Nimai, you look like a golden doll whose face is more beautiful than the moon. Why are you causing me so much anxiety by rolling about in the dust?" Then Sachi cleansed the dust from her son and kissed his face in ecstasy. After many years, the darling of Sachimata began roaming about with friends of the same age. They played various games under the trees on the banks of the Ganges. Sometimes they played Markata Kela, a game of imitating monkeys by standing on one leg. Learning that Gaura Hari was playing too near the Ganges, Sachi Devi grabbed a stick and ran there to catch him. While standing on one leg and playing, Nimai heard Sachimata calling in a threatening voice. Fearing punishment, Nimai ran away like a mad elephant while continually looking back over his shoulder, yelling, "Catch him! Catch him!" Sachi chased behind. The Lord, the jewel among the Brahmanas, easily outran his mother. In great haste, Nimai entered the house and started breaking his mother's earthen cooking pots. When Sachi Devi reached there, she just stood in amazement. Nimai, his head down in shame, his body shook and he began to cry. Nimai's teardrops looked like a garland of pearls dripping down from the moon. Seeing Gauranga's face, Sachimata melted in affection, called for her darling to come sit on her lap. In this way, the transcendental pastimes of her naughty son Nimai were beyond Sachi Devi's comprehension. Sachimata saw that Nimai had a very restless and stubborn nature. One day, Sachi Devi revealed her mind to the ladies of Nadia. "Goswami fulfilled my cherished desire for a son, but my son's behavior is most unusual. Nimai says one thing and then he does something else without weighing the consequences. I can't understand his actions. He doesn't care whether the activity is pure or impure, he just acts." The ladies cried loudly after hearing this. They put Gaurachandra on their laps and said, "Oh, my darling, why do you do these mischievous acts?" Vishwambar became upset with their question, and seeing this, the ladies felt unhappy. Now they could understand why Sachi Devi had complained about her son. The ladies said, "Sachi, when did your son first start acting like this?" Sachi Mata replied, "I can't say anything about him, but I will tell you something that happened. One night, when I was holding Nimai in my lap, my bedroom was suddenly invaded by many demigods. They put Nimai on a jeweled throne, offered dandavats to him, and worshipped my son. It's true, I saw this wonderful sight with my own eyes." The ladies advised Sachi Devi, "Look, it sounds like some tantra to us. There must be some powerful being who has taken possession of your son. Ask your husband to get the brahmanas to perform a yagya. Call the demigods and perform auspicious rituals for the benefit of your son Nimai. Hopefully, after receiving their offerings, the demigods will go back to heaven. Don't worry, Sachi. If the demigods are properly worshipped, they will remove all your fears." Taking the dust from Sachi's feet, the village ladies departed. Then Sachi Devi informed her husband. Immediately, and with great concern, Jagannath Mishra collected the paraphernalia and invited the brahmanas to perform a yagya. Taking Nimai along, Sachi Mata bathed in the Ganges. Sachi thought that soon her son would be freed from his restless nature. In a playful mood, Vishwambar Rai ran ahead of Sachi and picked up some used, dirty earthen pots. Seeing Nimai playing with such contaminated things, Sachi sighed and said in a voice full of exasperation, "Alas, my son is so impudent and undisciplined." Rebuking her son, she said, "Nimai, shame on you! Don't you have any knowledge of what's pure and what's impure?" Vishwambar replied in a compassionate tone, "Mother, the whole world is going astray without knowing these principles. There is nothing in this world except earth, water, fire, air, and sky. Service to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is the essence of all religions, because Krishna is the supreme Lord above all others." Nimai's words astonished Sachi, who responded by taking her son to the Suranadi, Ganges, for a bath. Upon returning home, Sachi Devi said to Jagannath Mishra, "Prabhu, please listen about your son's character. Without a doubt, Nimai is the embodiment of all sacrifices. He just stood amidst some filthy pots and preached to me. Unfortunately, you weren't there to see or hear him." Feeling happy within, Jagannath took Nimai on his lap and said, "He is the shining light of my family, the star of my eyes. He's the very soul of our bodies." Forgetting himself in parental love, Jagannath simply gazed at Gauranga's enchanting face. Nimai showed signs of transcendental ecstasy. He cried profusely, spoke in a stuttering voice, and his entire body broke out with goosebumps. Lochan Das happily sings the glories of Gauranga. As Nimai's golden body grew, it rivaled Mount Sumeru in beauty and stature. Sachimata eagerly listened to Nimai's nectar-sweet words. When Sachimata said something to the Lord, Nimai would reply, "Mother, I can't hear your voice." Then out of eagerness, Sachimata spoke more loudly. But just to tease his mother, Gora would repeat, "I can't hear you, mother." Nimai's antics completely enchanted Sachimata in parental love. Yet, to enhance the Lord's pastimes, she chased Nimai with a stick. At the same time, Sachimata shouted, "Why can't you hear my voice? You're speaking like a crazy person. I'm sure you won't care for me in my old age." Another day, Nimai, going against Sachi's order, stomped the ground with his feet. Sachi Devi became furious, glared menacingly, and chased him across the courtyard. Vishwambar ran to a dirty place full of used clay cooking pots and sat down. Disgusted, Sachimata struck her forehead with her palm and scolded her son. "Nimai, alas, what are you doing?" Nimai became more angry. Then, in defiance of his mother, Nimai stood up proudly atop the pots. Seeing her son react exactly the opposite of her intentions, Sachi Devi tried to pacify him with affectionate words. Sachi said, "Come on, my divine sweet boy, please stop misbehaving. You are the son of a Brahmana and should follow the conduct of a Brahmana. Also, you belong to an aristocratic Brahmana family, and therefore people will criticize you. Come, darling, let's go take a bath in the Ganges." Your mother's heart is breaking. Now come sit on my lap. Otherwise, I'll drown myself in the Ganges. Then you'll be all alone in the house. You will just cry and roam from room to room. Why are you smearing that ash from the clay pots all over your beautiful golden body? Please leave that dirty place right now. Oh, my dear one, having drawn black lines here and there on your body, you now look like the radiant moon covered with its spots. Vishrambar, the abode of transcendental qualities, said, You don't understand, mother. Again and again I'm telling you the same thing. First you listen, then decide what's pure and impure. In anger, Nimai took a small piece of brick and hit Sachimata in the head. Pretending to be hurt, Sachi fainted, falling flat on the earth. Nimai cried and called out, Mother! Mother! Hearing the crying, the neighborhood housewives rushed to the spot. They revived Sachimata by splashing Ganges water on her face. After crying, Vishrambar! Sachi Devi embraced Nimai and sat him on her lap. Suddenly, for the second time, Sachi Devi fell unconscious. Again Nimai began crying. One divine lady touched Nimai's chin and smiling said, Nimai, go get 2 coconuts for your mother. Then your mother will come back to life. Otherwise, I tell you, you'll lose your mother. Vishrambar became elated and in a second produced a pair of fresh coconuts. The astonished lady said, My boy, how did you get these coconuts without going anywhere? Being just a small child, from where did you get them? Anyway, now we can understand a little about your character. Vishrambar made a roaring sound and wrapped his arm around his mother's neck. Returning to external senses, Sachi Devi put Nimai on her lap and repeatedly kissed his lotus face. Taking the edge of her sari, Sachi removed the soot from Nimai's golden body. Then she bathed her son in Ganges water. Sachimata became enraptured by Nimai's beautiful face, which looked more brilliant than millions of suns. The Lord appeared as grave as the ocean. His nails glittered like a million moons. Nimai's indescribably beautiful body derided the beauty of millions of cupids. His eyebrows danced playfully like the bow of Kamadev, the god of love. Sachimata became wonderstruck upon seeing the Lord of all the planets manifested before her. At this time, Sachi Devi recalled when many demigods had appeared in her home at the time of Nimai's conception. Reflecting on Nimai's childhood pranks and pastimes, Sachi became convinced. Her son was the supreme, eternal, and effulgent Lord Narayan, who was transcendental to material existence. After realizing this, Sachi Devi said, He is free from all material contamination. He has no material form. He is omniscient, all-pervading, and self-satisfied. The great yogis meditate to attain his matchless transcendental form. Lord Brahma, Shiva, and the other demigods can't calculate the extent of my fortune. My son is worshipable by everyone. Immediately, Sachi Devi put Nimai on her lap. As soon as Nimai touched her lap, Sachimata forgot all about his majestic opulences. She simply thought, Nimai is my son. Upon returning home, Sachi Devi, in the mood of a mother, pondered, I wonder what demigod or celestial being has manifested within my son. Then, to protect her son from calamities, she chanted the holy names of the Lord, Govinda, Rishikesh, Janardhan. She also tied a mantra-charged talisman around Nimai's arm. On behalf of her son, Sachi chanted, May the Sudarshan disc protect your head. May Narayan protect your eyes, nose, and face. May Gadadhar protect your chest. Let Giridhar protect your hands. May Damodar protect your belly. Let Lord Nrsimha protect the area around your navel. May Trivikram protect your knees, and Lord Dharadhar protect your feet. After saying this, Sachi blew short bursts of breath, an auspicious ritual, all over Gauranga's body. Catch the moon. In this way, a blissful day turned into a full moon night. After engaging the servants in their evening duties, Sachi Devi took Nimai into the courtyard for some fresh air. The full moon was climbing the sky. Acting like an innocent boy, the clever Nimai cried, Mother, Mother! Sachi Devi said, Don't cry. I will give you whatever you want. The Lord replied, Mother, please give me the moon. Sachi said, Can anyone catch the moon in the sky? Nimai said, Then why did you say that you would give me whatever I wanted? For this reason I asked for the moon. Then Nimai began wailing. Holding the corner of Sachi Devi's sari, he kept crying while rubbing his eyes with his free hand and kicking the dirt with his feet. Nimai was insistent. He wanted the moon. Gora Rai clutched his mother's sari and yanked her hair. The next moment he hit her in the head with his hand. Still unsuccessful, he rolled on the ground and cried. Sachimata said, "Oh, Nimai, you are incorrigible, and your behavior is most unusual. How can I possibly catch the moon in the sky? There are already so many moons on your body. Look how the moon has become ashamed before you. Out of shyness, he is now hiding himself behind the clouds. Oh, my son, please listen." Then Sachimata placed Nimai on her lap and showered him with kisses. Obsessed with parental love, Sachi Devi forgot herself in transcendental bliss. Her voice became choked up in ecstasy. Lochan Das joyfully sings the glories of Lord Gauranga. The Puppy Story. Gauranga used to pass his time playing and enjoying many frivolous games with his friends. One day they found a litter of puppies. Nimai picked out the nicest one. Nimai's friend said, "Look, Nimai, you chose the best puppy and left the ugly ones for us. It's not fair. If you keep that one, then we're going home." Vishrambar said, "Come on, listen, I'll keep this puppy in my house and we can all play with him there." Nimai took the puppy home and tied it to a chair. Having just finished her duties, Sachimata had gone to bathe in the Ganges along with her friends. Vishrambar's friends came into the house and played with the puppy dog. They fondled the dog, rolled in the dirt with it, and laughed and joked. Suddenly, a quarrel broke out among the boys. Nimai took the side of one boy and found fault with the other. Gorahari said, "Listen, every day you come here to play, and you always start a fight. Why do you behave like this?" In defense, the boy said, "Well, you stole the puppy." Then he stormed out of the house. Seeing Sachimata returning from the Ganges, that boy said in a voice choked with anger, "Your son Vishrambar is playing in the house with a puppy dog. Sometimes he puts it on his lap or hangs it over his shoulder. Go and see for yourself." Sachimata quickly entered the house and saw Vishrambar playing with the puppy. In astonishment, she hit her forehead with her palm. "Vishrambar, what are you doing?" said Sachimata. "I simply can't understand your behavior. You have so many things to play with, but instead you play with a dog. You are the son of a very religious father. What will people say if they see you playing with a dog? This behavior does not befit a Brahmin's son. It pains my heart to imagine how people will criticize you if they find out. Your form is so pure and wonderful. Why do you find happiness in smearing your body with dirt? Seeing you like this, I bow my head in shame and wish to die. Your body shines like fresh lightning, and your face is more beautiful than many moons. Yet, instead of wearing your clothes, you cover your body with dirt and play with low-class boys." Fuming with anger, Sachimata bit her lower lip and rebuked her errant son. "Okay, Nimai, if you like that puppy so much, then take him to your room. Just forget about your mother and father and play with your dog." But the charming beauty of Gora's gorgeous and innocent face quickly dissipated Sachimata's anger. Adopting a joyful mood, Sachi Devi said, "Come, my darling son, get on my lap. I want to hug you and kiss your sweet, smiling face. Now just leave that puppy alone for a little while and go bathe in the Ganges. Besides, you must be hungry. It's already lunchtime. Why are you filling me with anxiety? Now tie up your puppy, take bath, and after lunch you can play with him again. Your face looks tired like a golden lotus withered by the scorching sun. A drop of perspiration like a pearl rests on the tip of your nose." Smiling, Vishrambar said, "Mother, please watch my puppy while I take bath." After cleansing the dirt from Nimai's body, Sachimata rubbed him with fragrant oil. Gaurahari and his friends went to bathe in the Ganges. They laughed, swam about, and threw water on each other just like playful elephants do when bathing. Gauranga's golden body appeared powerfully built and as immovable as Mount Sumeru. Meanwhile, back at home, Sachimata untied Nimai's puppy and sent him away. One of Gauranga's playmates saw this and then ran to the Ganges to inform Nimai. "Hey Nimai, your mother sent your puppy away." Nimai immediately ran home. Not seeing his puppy, Nimai's heart burned with anger. Feeling separation, he cried and scolded his mother. "Listen, mother, you don't understand. Why did you do this to me? I feel very hurt. He was such a nice, beautiful puppy. How could you send him away?" Playing innocent, Sachimata said, "I don't know what happened to your puppy. He was just here. Maybe a thief has stolen him. Now stop crying. We'll search for the puppy and bring him back tomorrow. I promise I'll find your puppy. Now please stop crying." After saying this, Sachimata wiped the tears from Nimai's face, put him on her lap, and smothered him with kisses. Then Sachimata pacified Nimai with kheer, sandesh, bananas, and other tasty sweets. Sachimata dressed her darling son. She tied his hair in a top knot and applied black kajal around his eyes. She wrapped a ruby-red cloth around Nimai's nicely curved hips. She hung a pearl necklace around his neck. Sandalwood tilak adorned his forehead. Gold bangles highlighted the beauty of his wrists and ankles. Grabbing a sweet ball, Nimai ran outside to play with his friends. His walking defeated the pride of the king of elephants. His deep voice sounded as sweet as nectar. Nimai, the crest jewel among his Brahmin friends, looked like the full moon surrounded by a cluster of stars. The demigods felt great happiness to witness Lord Gora's transcendental pastimes. Lochan Das is amazed to see that the Supreme Lord touched cats and dogs. That puppy attained the greatest fortune by the transcendental touch of Lord Gauranga. The dog gave up his bad habits and became Krishna conscious. One day, the dog just started dancing ecstatically while chanting the holy names Radha, Krishna, Govinda. Hearing that a lowly dog was chanting Hare Krishna, the townspeople of Navadvip ran to see the miracle. Before everyone's eyes, the dog exhibited the bodily symptoms of ecstatic love of God. The dog was crying, his hair stood on end, and his entire body was covered with goosebumps. Suddenly, that most fortunate dog gave up his body. At that moment, a golden celestial chariot came down from the sky and carried the dog to Goloka Vrindavan. Topped with many domes, the chariot was lavishly decorated with pearls and dazzling jewels. The sound of bells, gongs, conch shells, and kartals accompanied the divine singing of Gandharvas and Kinnaras, who were singing the glories of Radha and Krishna. Flags flapped atop the chariot, whose brilliance outshone the light of the sun. In his spiritual body, the dog was sitting upon a jeweled throne inside the chariot. His body, adorned with divine ornaments, looked more beautiful than millions of moons. The former dog was singing the glories of Radha, Krishna, and Gauranga. The Siddhas fanned him with chamaras as he soared back to Goloka. Lord Brahma, Shiva, Shanaka, and other demigods surrounded the chariot and sang Gauranga's praises. All glories to the ocean of mercy, the darling of Sachimata. Never before has he bestowed such mercy. He liberated a dog and sent him back to Goloka. The demigods continued, all glories to Gaura Hari, the resort of the helpless. You are the best of all incarnations. By your mercy, the people of the age of Kali will attain salvation. What wonderful pastimes will you reveal in the future? When will we demigods become fortunate and receive your supreme mercy? Simply by your touch, a dog attained liberation. We've never seen such mercy, even in the pastimes of Lord Rishikesh, Krishna. We hanker for your mercy, so we too can attain the same destination as that dog. O Gaura Rai, we bow down to your wonderfully glorious lotus feet. You always overlook one's faults and offenses. In this way, any fortunate living entity who takes shelter of you, Lord Gauranga, will attain Goloka. Repeatedly singing these glorious transcendental pastimes, I, Lochan Das, continually marvel at the divine incarnation known as Lord Gaurachandra. Shashti Puja. One day, Sachimata and the neighboring ladies went to perform Shashti Puja under a banyan tree. Shashti is a female deity who protects children. Sachimata, covering the food offering with the edge of her sari, proceeded along the footpath. Vishrambar, who was playing nearby, ran over to see what his mother was carrying. Extending his arms to the side, Nimai blocked Sachi's way and demanded, Mother, what are you carrying? Let me see. Sachimata said, We are carefully taking ingredients to worship goddess Shashti under a banyan tree. You just stay here and play. When I return, I'll give you some sandesh and bananas. After worshipping Shashti, I will ask for the boon that you'll be free from all suffering and inauspiciousness. Hearing this and knowing his mother's heart, Gaura Hari, the personification of nectarian beauty, said softly, Mother, again and again I will tell you, you don't understand, but I am experiencing great suffering right this minute. My belly is burning with hunger. Suddenly, as quick as lightning, Gaura Hari snatched the sweets Sachi was saving for Shashti and popped them in his mouth. Somewhat upset by this, Sachimata exclaimed, Alas, what have you done? Oh, you restless boy! How can I explain to you that you have disrespected the demigods? Why are you so mischievous that even though you are Brahmana's son? Seeing your naughty behavior, I feel like giving up my body. Surprisingly, Gaura Hari became very angry and said sternly, Mother, you just don't understand anything. I know everything, and I am all in all in the three worlds. I am one without a second, for no one is equal to me. Just as water poured on the root satisfies the whole tree, similarly, simply by worshipping me alone, one's whole life becomes complete and perfect. Then Nimai Pandit quoted the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31, Text 14. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service satisfies the demigods who are part of that Supreme Personality. After saying this, the clever boy Gaura warmly embraced his mother. Feeling astonished within her heart, Sachimata proceeded to worship Goddess Shasti. Sachimata prayed to the goddess, "My son Nimai is indomitable and disobedient. Shasti Devi, please overlook his offenses. Nimai is my only treasure. You kindly gave him to me. Please don't let any trouble befall him. Actually, this boy belongs to you, Shasti Devi." Holding a straw between her teeth and falling at the feet of the elderly ladies, Sachimata said humbly, "Please bless my restless son Nimai. May his mind become peaceful and obedient. Everyone, please bless my son, that he may live forever." After finishing Shasti Puja, Sachimata took Nimai by the hand and walked home. Sachi Devi told her husband, Jagannath Mishra, that she thought their son was the supreme god of all gods. Lochan Das says that Lord Gauranga now plays joyfully with his boyfriends. That concludes chapter 2. Next we will read chapter 3, Gauranga's boyhood pastimes. Oh, those stories were just such nectar, so very sweet. He really was acting just like an ordinary boy. Thank you so much for listening or reading along. We'll see you next time. Hare Krishna.